This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinion. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video. What's up? I'm back. Let's get into a part 2. Open your minds and let's just stroll through TikTok. No sound. There's no sound on this. I'm sitting on the floor. Look at the green. I remember seeing this. I forgot. Oh, shout out to Miss Quatita, governess. Yes. I think this is on her TikTok. Gratitude. Saturday. Enjoy. Welcome to the Truman Show. I'd be scared to eat that fish out of that water. I wonder if this is before or after they Rolling. I wonder if that's real. Now, I've always thought that this clip right here was definitely real. But who knows?
You know how the universe is created. So you think God.
When I seen it, it was a way totally different alien. This is back when in the 90s. This is the same voice, but the video's totally different. All I'm saying is I believe that this voice came from something that was not from here. They're just masking it and masking it to erase it.
Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die?
Death does not exist. That's what I believe. We're in a whole nother video.
Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right? So you know how the universe is created. So you think God.
That's what I don't get, though. To me, there is something that has to create something. But then it scares me because who created that something, right? I believe there was more than one somethings, but then at the end of the day, who created all of them? It's scary to say that what if existence did just come into existence? But to me, how can you have a reaction without an action, right? Unless you're sitting on a hill and you roll backwards. But then the hill had to be created for you to roll. I don't know, y'all. Like,
okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die?
whew. What in the fook is this? Okay.
Could humanity have accidentally unleashed an apex predator in...
Of course humanity could have accidentally unleashed it, because humanity goes around digging in places that are sacred. Like, one thing I have learned from, like, Lara Croft and Tomb Raider, remember when they were trying to take control of time, which we've already done that here on this planet, allegedly, because time cannot be kept in a clock. But we think that the days are the days and time is passing the way it is. It's not. Sometimes things are not meant to be touched because those things are not meant to be touched, because they're placed by things that are beyond us. Now, good or bad, I have no idea. But I know there's things that are here, that have been here. There were monsters here. And if you go into the Bible, if you believe in that, there were monsters in the garden. But nobody wants to talk about the monsters that couldn't talk to the Adam and Eve. The fuck?
In Antarctica? On February 13th, 2021, a post popped up on a Google Earth thread appearing to show what looked like a giant spider in a Google Earth image of Antarctica. And
I love Google Earth, and I'm going to start doing more videos, just scrolling through Google Earth. Honestly, there's a lot of strange things through Google Earth. But when Google first started Google Earth, they did not realize that there were things on there that they didn't even know before they started blacking things out like they always do. There was so many things that we were finding when Google Earth first started, y'all. Like,
and a user with the name Son of Antanon showed up claiming to be the foremost expert on the subject, even going as far as to post these pictures of a commemorative plaque and wall clock, proving that his father was indeed stationed as a medical doctor at McMurdo Base in Antarctica. If these videos about the paranormal, supernatural, secret, hidden history interest you, click the link in my bio and subscribe to my brand new YouTube channel. Antanon claims that for an 11-month period in the 90s, his father was the sole medical doctor at McMurdo Research Base in Antarctica. He would pretty regularly accompany scientists and armed soldiers on expeditions that would routinely take 5-mile detours around certain areas. And in certain instances, while taking these detours, he thought he could make out the outline of buildings in these areas. He said the site that they most regularly had to detour around was roughly 30 miles south and 10 miles east of...
It's amazing how everybody can get along here and nobody's fighting over this place, because everybody's okay with being totally neutral over this area, but we fight everywhere else. Okay.
His location, which is here. During this thread, one of the other Anons in the chat started doing some Google Earth snooping in that exact area and found this bizarre giant monolith.
And we've had monoliths pop up around our areas, right? Recently, in the past, 2 years. Now, my thing is, yeah, humans could have made them, but we got the idea from somebody. And my thing is, what if they are literally coming out of the MFing ground? Because we can dig as much as we want, but there are things way below us. I'm just saying.
With the bottom half blurred out. The doctor befriended a 10-year veteran of the site, and once they were a little bit closer, he asked him, hey, why do we avoid those areas? But the doctor just went pale and told him to shut up, and then reported him to his commanding officer. Since Antanon's dad was the only medical doctor on site, he was also the pathologist, so the person that takes care of the bodies. And he was becoming very suspicious because he really didn't think this would be as big of a part of his job as it ended up being. There were a lot of casualties and some really strange injuries, like fully severed limbs and bodies found in
monsters.
Half. But conveniently, since the remains were almost always frozen, he was always instructed to list the cause of death as hypothermia. He did try to go about it the right way. He tried talking to people, but either they knew nothing or they would just clam up and report him. So he basically just started rifling through people's shit, which usually I'm against, but at this point I'm all for it. The dude's an absolute mad lad. So while he was rifling through the workstation of one of the higher level researchers, he found a drawer full of journals. And these journals were full of information about what Antanon would call striders. From what he could tell, these creatures were found while the researchers were taking bore samples, which is when they drill big chunks.
Just like the tunnel. A lot of people think that it's hell. I even kind of have a percentage, not like that it's hell, but it could be a effed up place, right? Or some type of other world where it's dark. Or what if it's our reality from the past or our reality from the future? I don't effing know. But what if it's also like another, like I said, another dimension? Like they're opening up things, they're not shutting the doors. It's just like if you play with a Ouija board and you don't close it out, you have the damn gates open for eternity for spirits to come and go. CERN has opened up the gates. the veil is so thin that if you don't believe, you're going to have to after a while, because you're going to see things that are there, and then you're going to close your eyes and you're going to look up and they're still going to be there, folks.
So the ice out. Of course, they thought these creatures were dead because they were surrounded by ice that was at least hundreds of thousands of years old. But of course, upon thawing them out, a couple of them animated and violently escaped and had since become a huge nuisance for anyone.
I did a video on this. It's I forgot what it was called. It's organism 5B or 51 something. I think this is what he's talking about. But if not, it's close to what I have found through research. And people are losing their lives over these things that they're finding, and they're sweeping up under the rug. And it's like they're dying in vain.
Or anything operating within that area of the research base. Now, Antonon's dad would go on to discover a lot more about these spiders, and it kind of seems like they're just one of many entry points into why Antarctica is so secretive and important. So comment part 2 if this interests you.
Now, if they unthaw and start migrating from Antarctica, what's going to happen for us? Those that don't know, right? The little guys, you know, the ones that don't have bunkers already built, SSI numbers already picked. They already picked out their future places if something was to go wrong in the world. What about us? I'm telling y'all, better start doing some research just in case. This is called just in case.
Could humanity have accidentally unleashed an apex?
These are scary what-if theories.
This is low, so I'm going to try to up her volume when I edit this. It's low.
What if there are really aliens disguised as humans and they are spying on us, plotting the perfect time to strike? What if stars are cameras from aliens and we are a zoo or a experiment?
I've always believed that Earth was the library of this part of the galaxy. Maybe not the whole galaxy, but let's say a section of the galaxy. And all the alien races, I don't know if good and bad, I don't know. Animals from every planet, every, species, place of living. I think all of it's here. Every animal that exists, I think, has came from some other species. All of us, different colored humans, trees, plants, all of that. I think all of this has been put on this prison planet, and it's called Earth.
What if our life is a video game and every time you start a new year, you start a new level?
I just said that. Y'all, the Truman Show. Hello, nothing is real, guys. They can make 3D stuff off a computer now. They've been doing it before. How do you not know our furniture and things that we are using? How we know they're real?
As the game progresses, the levels get harder and harder to manage.
Sorry about that dog. I love dogs, but that damn little dog right there, I swear, that dog.
Those who die have completed their game. What if every time you hear that voice in your head telling you not to do something, it's your future self warning you because they already know the outcome? What if oxygen is actually poisonous and takes us 70 to 100 years to affect us?
That makes plenty of sense, hence why people are dying up under 100. But if you take time away and you have leap year, we forward time, we send time backwards. If we add all that up together, we are still older than what we really are. This is a crash in 1947, allegedly, of an alien. Let me see if I can zoom in there. I believe it. Yo quiero Taco Bell! But they had great animation back then too. I'm just saying. Allegedly, I don't even know if we went to the moon or not. I'm just gonna be honest. I couldn't tell you if we went or not. Because the same place I seen where we landed on the moon is the same place somewhere here in the United States, out in the desert. The craters too.
Here's an alien encounter with the US government that's noted to be real. This one takes place at the Holloman Air Force Base. So these soldiers are outside when this aircraft lands right in the middle of the Air Force Base. They go over there, but little do they expect these beings actually come out of the aircraft to come and talk to them. They're drawn and depicted with very small faces, very pronounced facial features, and a headdress on. They're apparently different than the usual ones. So these beings come out and tell these soldiers that they have a solution to humanity's problems and that they come in peace. They tell them to lay down all nuclear weapons and tell the truth to the people.
See, I heard that these people, this story that I heard actually were from the Center Earth people, told different other beings, and they said the same thing. But what if this story was stolen? Because a lot of things seem to be stolen and rewrote and re-given and regurgitated and vomited it back up and ate again, and then it comes out and then we eat it again. We're the snakes that eat our tails, right? So what if this was a different species that did come down, that didn't look like the other ones? You know, maybe these are some of the good guys, and they just wiped their story away. And who knows what they did to them, allegedly.
People. But of course, these soldiers laughed in their faces and told them it's not gonna happen. If you've been paying attention to the news as well, many officials keep coming on the air telling people that these UFOs started coming out more and more as soon as we got nuclear weapons. If this is the case, then these higher beings know what these nuclear weapons...
They're good. There they go. Down at the bottom in the blue suit, we got the Pleiadons, the Pleiades. Up top, we have, I forgot her name, Samara, Samesmia, something. I remember doing some research on her face. I don't know if she's real, but I know that there's a lot of information on her. So, yeah.
Weapons could do, and they're worried for us. That means there's some sort of history with nuclear weapons in the universe. But where? Here's an alien encounter.
And we're back.
Have you ever watched Men in Black? You know that movie with Will Smith and the aliens? Did you know those movies were actually based off a conspiracy theory about government agents who wear black suits and
Did a video on this. Old video.
show up anytime the government wants to cover up evidence. And there is a large amount of people that think they are genuinely real. Those who've claimed to see them describe them as having no facial features or hair, as if they're wearing some sort of skin mask. This ties into deeper conspiracy.
Skin masks, just like they could mask themselves as looking identical as the humans. Y'all ever think, what did it mean by one step for man and one step for mankind? Who in the hell is mankind?
Like Operation Blue Book, which was a real U.S. Air Force study in the 1950s that analyzed UFO-related data. And I can get into that later if you'd like to hear about it.
People talk about aliens and alien account. Like, what would aliens be doing here? Why would they do? What if human beings are the product of accelerated evolution? Like, what if they...
I believe some... Okay, when we say humans, we need to start breaking that definition down. Not everybody's a human. I'm not... It's... Do your own research on what hue and human and humans and man and mankind. Get your own understanding. Because my understanding can be a little different. But I don't believe all of us are humans. But I do believe there were a lot of people seeded in and coded and genetically took from other genetically beings.
Came down here, they found this incredibly rich planet that's filled with biodiversity and all these different life forms, and then they found these primates. And like, oh, we know where these fuckers are going. Like, this is us 10 billion years ago.
I don't believe we came from apes, but I do believe some people came from apes, not just one race. But I do also believe there was just a clan of species that are apes, that are intelligent just like us. That doesn't mean that we came from them. I believe there is a planet that has felines, you know, the feline race, the reptilian race. Come on, dragons. So why can't apes have their own planet, their own genetic environment, their own world within our world? If anybody ran upon the jungle and seen apes walking around like us, cooking and shit like the Flintstones, walking around with the dinosaurs, they would freak out. So, and probably destroy them, dumb them down, like us humans, some of us humans that are left. And then we're here, right? I don't know.
Or whatever the fuck it is. Let's accelerate this little party. Let's inject some of our super advanced DNA into these primates, and let's see where it takes itself. 6,000 BC. An image from a clay tablet of a very large being.
And then you gotta think, how did all the colors get here? Because if one, specific being of one color created everybody, did they have those broad colors within their genetics? and the only color that is seen is their outside, but they have all the other colors of the people on the planet? Or did they choose each melanated animal to make humans from, if this is true? That's just a question. I'm not saying anything. I'm just, whatever.
That has a very small human-like being with a monkey tail on its lap. And this is what Sitchin points to as some sort of a depiction of the genetic engineering that took place to turn primitive primates into human beings.
And then there are such thing as half, humans, or half beings, half whatever, right? Which would be if you're a shapeshifter, or as they say in Harry Potter, you're a familiar, or Kakusa. Shout out to you, governess, gratitude. You're other beings. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but what if they've separated humans from their genetic animal instinct, hence why we're still called mammals, right?
Beings. When people talk about aliens and alien encounter, like what would aliens be doing here? Why would they do?
I don't know.
Here's an alien encounter with the US government
Seen
that's
that
noted to be real. This one takes place at the
Is this the eye of a monster staring out of the Pacific Ocean? The Bellingham Herald says that many believe to see an eye of a monster staring out from the center of this storm. What do you see here? I mean, I just see the eye of a cyclone, right? Either way, it's great fuel for your imagination and has left many questioning. Is this the eye of a monster?
I want to believe. I'm just saying, I love the music, X-Files. So this says Satanic Monster. Anyone familiar? The ability is not ability to mark of the beast. Sage, if you're watching this, homie, this is where you come in. Number guy. Where you at? Shout out to Sage. I've done some research on the number 666, and I'm just saying, what if it's opposite than what it's been told? And what if that number actually connects to a certain type of beings or species or race of people that, end up being on the planet as well, and they had different abilities and they had different powers, and they were able to do different things, from the stars, from the cosmos. And what if their genetic code was 666? Message. Shapeshifting. If y'all can't read this, I hope you can see it. I hope it's big enough, but if you can't get anything out of it, I know that it ends with shapeshifting. Okay. Liquid crystallization that occurs during shapeshifting. Cherokees talk about shape-shifting. A lot of cultures talk about shape-shifting. We have seen our own alleged media shape-shift. There's good and bad in everything. And in everyone's. Is that all? Like, what is that? Whoa. Dude. Mark of a beast. Maybe there is the beast, but I think there's a lot of the beast. Like, there are many different gods and then demigods. Just saying, even even dark witches can do the same thing as light witches, and light witches can do the same thing as dark witches. It's just how you choose to use your power. Dude, that's crazy. I love you guys. I'm out.